Hello everybody and welcome to this introduction to ServiceNow. This presentation is brought to you by Symfoni. My name is Lucas de Lamper and I will be your presenter. Symfoni is a solution provider. We're active in Northern and Central Europe. Our major partner is ServiceNow, but we also do business with IBM, HP, Bomgar and True, so that we can deliver you quite complete solutions. We're also developing software. We're developing applications on top of ServiceNow, but we're also, for example, developing a document management system. As far as our relationship with ServiceNow goes, it's quite a complete one. So we do develop custom applications on top of the ServiceNow platform, and that includes our own Symfoni business platform. So we run our complete business environment on top of ServiceNow, and we develop the applications for that. We are a reselling and implementation partner, and so we have certified and trained salespeople as well as consultants. And the same is true for our support people. We have trained and certified support people so that we can deliver first line support for all our ServiceNow customers. We have a number of certified trainers, so we can deliver trainings for ServiceNow as well as for ITIL. And we also have a hosted solution for ServiceNow, which is targeted to smaller customers. It's a limited environment of ServiceNow, which is very cheap and very quick to install. So people that need, small companies that need a cheap service management solution quickly, they can choose for Symfoni Service Manager. Our customers come from all kinds of businesses. We have many financial customers. We also have them in car industries, in tire industries, so all kinds of businesses is where you can find our customers. ServiceNow was founded in 2003 by people that actually came from more traditional ITSM vendors. And when they founded ServiceNow, they were looking at a number of things. They were first looking at where the market was going. And cloud was quite new at that time, but they understood that it would become quite important. And so they decided to build a new IT service management system for the internet, purposely designed to be delivered in a SaaS model. Something that customers at that time were complaining about all the time was the usability of the current IT service management solutions. They found them very complex to use. They required training even for end users. And so ServiceNow decided that their platform should be very easy to use for everybody, but especially for the end users. It should be as intuitive as using a smartphone. Another characteristic of the traditional service management systems was that if you wanted to implement a whole bunch of processes, that you needed 5 or even a dozen of applications. Every application having their own database, their own data model, running on their own operating system and platform, and keeping all those systems integrated and operating was a very big challenge. And especially upgrading them and keeping in sync with the latest version of the vendors was really very hard to do. So ServiceNow decided that all the processes that IT would need would run on the same platform, and that all the artifacts, including the configuration of the system, would reside in what we call the single system of record. With other words, in one single database. Now, even if ServiceNow planned to deliver a whole bunch of applications on top of this platform, they thought that there would be always customers that wanted more and wanted something that was specific to their business. And therefore, they decided that the platform on which this ITSM system would run needed to be extensible. Customers and partners needed to be able to create new applications on the same platform. Now, when you bring such a modernized solution to a customer, they usually need to go through a kind of transformation. They need to move to an IT service model, much like it's prescribed by ITIL. And consumerization became very important as well, because it's something that users got used to in their private lives. They go to a website, they order a phone or a service, they're able to follow up the delivery of their order until when it's delivered at their front door. And when those people went at their office, they did not have such an experience. They didn't have a portal. They couldn't follow up those processes. It was quite actually frustrating. You know that it's possible because you can do it on the internet. And when you come to your office, everything seems so old-fashioned. Now, IT has been doing quite a good business in automating business processes. We're doing very well there. But while doing this, we forgot to automate our own processes. Many of the processes required to deliver the things that end users order from a portal required interventions by people. And that made these processes kind of slow and unreliable. Automation is key to fix this. In the latest version, ServiceNow has been extending the IT service management model, which we will explain in a little bit more detail later, extending this model to services other than IT. So, and therefore we talk about enterprise service management. But please allow me to explain this later. This is an overview of the ServiceNow platform, or let's say of ServiceNow. The gray thing, what you see here, is what we call the platform, and the red blocks are applications that are delivered by ServiceNow and that run on top of the platform. In the centrum we see service management applications, and it all got started with IT service management, where you find applications such as incident, problem, change, a CMDB, a service catalog, and so on. But that model, IT service management model, was extended to the other departments of the organization that also deliver services, such as legal, the finance department, field service, marketing, human resources, and facilities. We will come back to this. Underpinning the IT service management is the IT operations management, which includes applications such as discovery and orchestration. Orchestration is actually an automation platform, but also, for example, cloud management. ServiceNow assumes that their customers that use ServiceNow in the cloud may also be using other stuff in the cloud. For example, they may run things on Amazon services, and customers want to be able to manage that platform from the same place where they run their other IT applications. Then there's a number of business management applications like vendor management, financial management, resource management, etc. A very important one, I think, is the governance application, which helps companies to ensure to be compliant with all kinds of external and internal regulations, which is really quite a complex matter, and ServiceNow has built an excellent application to enable IT to follow up on that compliance much easier than before. And lastly, there is this application development area where ServiceNow offers the ability for professional creators to create quite complex applications on top of the ServiceNow platform. But also they allow end users, non-IT users that don't know much about programming, to create services in a very intuitive way and to publish those services on the service catalog. So what is this platform? The platform is just a number of features and services that are available to anybody that buys licenses for ServiceNow. And it includes features such as chat and live feeds, which are both social IT features, service catalog, time cards to keep track of the time that people spend working on something, reporting, web services to open up ServiceNow to integrate with other applications, a very powerful workflow engine, which is a single workflow engine across the entire platform for all the applications, and also accessibility for mobile devices. So there is no need anymore to run separate mobile servers to support your mobile users. All this is provided within the platform. So let's look at the IT service model. With at the left side you have a requester or the service consumer, and on the right side you have the service provider. The first thing you need is a taxonomy of your services. It's very important that you understand in all details the structure of your services. On which applications do your business processes rely? And those applications, what infrastructure are they using? Which databases are they using? What network connectivity do they require? On which hardware do they run? But also the dependencies between all these services. If I have one service and I upgrade it, I bring new features, maybe a depending service needs to be upgraded as well. Or maybe if one service has trouble, it could be that it influences the availability of another service as well. All these things we need to understand in all detail in order to deliver and support services with in a quality fashion. The service experience is then this single portal where users go to order goods or services and also to follow up on the delivery of those goods and services and the status of everything. When those orders and services have been ordered, they must be delivered in a reliable and a predictable way. So that is what we mean with service delivery. And as soon as the services are delivered, we need to provide support. Something may go wrong with the services. People will log incidents or issues with their service, and we need to be able to help them out. And very importantly is that we need to know the exact status of the services. Not only right now, what is the current status of your service, but also how was it in the past and how is it evolving? Is the usage of your services increasing or decreasing? Is the number of incidents increasing or decreasing? How are the service levels going? All that kind of information is very important to understand in order to plan for the future. Now this is all about IT, but of course in every organization there are many other departments that also provide services. IT provides services to human resources. They run their applications, but when we need to hire or retire people, we will use services from human resources. And the same is true for all these other departments. So you get this end-to-end relationship of all these services between these departments. It's just this complexity, this end-to-end mesh, which makes the service taxonomy even more necessary. It is the extension of the IT service model to other departments than IT in the entire organization that we call enterprise service management. Now at Symfoni, we know that optimizing a single process does not bring necessarily a lot of value to the business. There are actually 4 big areas, and that we call those value chains, where you need to focus on to increase the value that IT delivers to the business. And the first is, of course, business IT alignment. You need to do the right things. If you are not delivering the services that the business requires, you have problems. You don't have a good IT organization. There needs to be an alignment between business requirements and what IT delivers. You find this in demand management processes, in service portfolio, in asset management and financial management. All these processes are related to this business IT alignment, and you need to align all those processes and integrate them in order to increase the alignment between the business and IT. A second value chain is agility. Agility means that a business is able to react quickly to changes in the market or changes that are imposed by what competitors are doing. And unfortunately, IT often has the reputation of slowing down the business. The business wants to react quickly, but IT holds them up. We are very often a bottleneck, and that needs to change. The developers have been doing a good job with this agile development stuff in the last years. But when the developers provide new functionality more quickly, it's also very important, of course, that it's brought into production, that it's released and that it's implemented through changes as quickly as possible. So aligning a development organization and an operational organization that have conflicting key performance indicators is a very difficult thing, but it is very important to do. Efficiency is all about how well are we doing our IT, how are we executing our processes, how well do we follow our service level agreements, how reliable are we, how predictable are we. When I order an iPhone on an internet shop, if I order it before 10 o'clock in the evening, I know that the day after at 10 o'clock in the morning, I will have my phone delivered at my door. Unfortunately, a lot of people, when they order their phone in their organization, they have to wait a week or 2 weeks, and they actually don't even really know when the device will be delivered. That situation must be corrected. We need to be more efficient, and the business people need to be able to rely more on the IT processes. And then there is the value chain of availability. Availability doesn't just mean keep the service up, and it doesn't mean only fix incidents faster. It also means being proactive and trying to predict and protect yourself against future occurrences of incidents and security issues. So all these processes need to be integrated. Now, ServiceNow, because all the processes run on the same platform, is an excellent system to achieve these value chains. With traditional systems, where you need to integrate 5 or 12 applications, these value chains are very, very difficult to achieve. It's much more easier with ServiceNow, and that's why ServiceNow is our most important partner. For more information, you can go to our website, symfoni.com, or to servicenow.com's website. If you have specific questions, you can send me an email. My email is lucasdelamper@symfoni.com. It's on the first slide of this presentation. And then I want to thank you for listening to this presentation, and I hope to hear from you soon. Bye bye.